Happy almost New Year. It is December 29th, 2023. It's about 11 a.m. It's a cool 70-ish degrees out down here in zone 9B/10A, Southwest Florida. And everything is still green. We just had rain yesterday and rain on Christmas Day. So everything is lush and green even though it's winter. So how do we handle a garden like this that you can see is it's a jungle? Sorry, let's be frank here. How do we handle a jungle and composting all of our yard and food scraps from a 1-acre jungle that never stops, that grows year-round? How do we compost all that when it never stops? I'm about to show you what we do, how we handle our compost here. So for food scraps, we have 2 rolling composting bins that we rotate between for our food scraps. Sorry about the whistling, that's my parrots behind me on the porch, just trying to get a word in. So we put our food scraps in these because we used to put our food scraps in the regular compost pile, but if anybody else knows, that attracts rats and raccoons, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to attract rats to the neighborhood, and we already have raccoons that love digging. I don't know if you can see all this digging that happened last night, just dirt everywhere. That was the raccoons. So we put all of our food scraps in these 2 bins and we rotate between the 2. Once one is full, we shut it down, let it finish cooking, and then we move on to the next one for a while. And that keeps rats from getting anything. Then we have piles like this all around the yard, wildlife wood piles. So it's various sizes of branches and logs for things like lizards and snakes and small mice or rats or skunks to find little homes in and to keep themselves warm on cool winter nights. We don't have many here, but we do have some. And then that's got the grass clippings on top, which we're letting it dry on top of that pile, and then we add those grass clippings into our food composters here for some brown matter in addition to all that green matter. So that's where we get brown matter for our food scraps, is the grass clippings that we dried there. And then take you on a little tour here of our little tunnel, our fancy hose here. This is what we do with our yard compost that's not in wildlife wood piles. We have a 2-bay composter here that my husband built, and that's all of our yard scraps. So this one just got shut down. We're gonna let that cook for a couple months while we start filling this one up starting today. And on the bottom we'll usually throw some branches we're pruning from chaya, because chaya, you cannot chop and drop chaya. There's some on the other side of the fence there poking up. Chaya grows if you drop a branch on the ground, so you have to cover it deeply for many months to get it to break down and not regrow. So the bottom of this compost, we're going to put some chaya branches that need pruning today. On top of that, we'll put like 2 or 3 layers of cardboard, and then other things on top of that, grass clippings, yard mulch, leaves, whatever we have will go on top of that. And then we'll just keep piling up until it shuts down like this side. And then on top we'll put another layer of cardboard and mulch before we let it sit and cook for a few months. So this one we've been filling for maybe 3 months. It's taken for us to fill this guy up to the top, 3 or 4 months. And if I come back and check in a week, it'll probably already have dropped by a foot, because things break down quickly when you don't have a real winter and when you have a lot of arthropods to eat your yard waste. So we'll start filling this guy up and get to our composting. You can see here we already have some mulch ready to go on top of the cardboard that we're going to put on top of the chaya. Those are the wooden doors that lift out that we're going to put on there. And we also have various garbage bins that we've rescued. They were all free. Neighbors in the neighborhood have a habit of getting garbage bins, using them a couple times, and then throwing them in the woods empty. I don't know why, so we pick them up and we'll fill this with leaves, and the leaves will hang out there until we're ready to put them in the compost bin. So this one we just emptied the leaves onto there. That's where those came from. So they had some time to break down already. And we'll start filling that guy up again. We'll start filling that guy up. That's composting year-round in Florida. This is another one of our wildlife wood piles here. It's a little more creative and fancy, and that's the big thick parts of the chaya that take many years to break down. And that's a good spot for little mice and things to live in. And then after a few months, once our compost is ready to be used in beds, this is what it's going to look like. That's our finished compost. That's made year-round in our yard, and that's what we use to fill our raised beds, like these ones here. Homegrown compost only in the beds. The compost we buy from the incinerator goes only in pots. So that's our sterile stuff. This is non-sterile. And as you can see, these are some of our composting buddies here that help get that job done so quickly. And if you want to know what all of these beautiful guys are here, and if you want to know more about them and our other composting buddies, drop me a comment so I know, and your neighborhood entomologist can make a video all about compost invertebrates. All right, until the next time, have a good gardening weekend.